Hi guys, Steph here. Now, what we've got for you today, well, another gorgeous pen. Now, do you know what it is? Well, do you? Yes, I'm asking you people out there. Slightly different, I'm afraid, today is the fact that I'm not really too sure what particular model this particular pen is. I believe, again, don't quote me. Well, first of all, let's give you a clue. If you look at the top of the cap there, you can see this little white swan there, so that's a giveaway. And if we show you to the bottom of the barrel, if I just make sure I've got it the right way up, I think I have. I'm hoping you can see that it says Swan England. So there's a clue. So first of all, we know it's a Swan fountain pen. Now personally, the information I'm going to give you is what I believe it may be. So I may not be correct, but I'm asking you the question. So it's an interesting video, so hopefully I should receive quite a number of comments. I really want to find out what exactly this particular model is. I believe it may be what they term as a Swan York fountain pen, and the colour being this, well, I believe it's a Florentine Blue with gold-filled trim. Now, I don't know if you people are aware, sort of in the 1950s, just getting towards the end of the Swan manufacturing of fountain pens, they were taken over by the Biro company, or the Biro Pen Company, and they actually became Swan Biro, or Biro Swan, whichever way. And I believe that was around about 1952. I believe around about 1956, Swan tried to sort of bring back the interest of fountain pens, and they brought out some restyled pens in that era, and they actually launched what they term as a calligraph range of fountain pens. Now, I have actually had that particular model, so I am aware which one that particular pen is. But this one, I actually believe this may be one of the last pens that Swan actually manufactured before their demise in sort of the late 1950s, because again, not long when they took over by the Biro Pen Company, Swan basically closed the doors because of the sort of lack of interest in fountain pens and more of an interest in the Biro at that particular point. So after 80 years they closed the doors and Swan were no longer. So coming back to this pen here, this may be, again, as I said, one of the very last models they actually launched. Again, I might be wrong, but as I said earlier, we've got this Swan, little swan to the top of the cap there. You can see by the cap there, it's slightly different and slightly more modern than the sort of the older versions. You can see it's got this sort of step to the top of the clip there. There's no name to the clip itself, and if we just take you to the bottom of the cap there, you can see it's got this sort of quite a wide cap band there, and as we said, it's both of these are actually gold filled. The size of this particular pen from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, it's approximately 136 millimeters capped. Around the barrel, sort of in the middle here, it's around about 11.5 millimeters in diameter. All in all, I think a very attractive pen. Obviously, as always, I've actually when I received it, it was a little bit of a sorry state. I've actually fully restored it. We've put a new pressure bar inside, new sacking, everything, cleaned it. So what we'll do, let's unscrew the cap. Let's give you a couple of twirls of the pen, like so. As I say, in my opinion, a very nice, attractive pen, but unfortunately I don't know too much about it, so that is why I'm asking you people to comment. So if we take you to the section there, you can see it's got quite a standard section there that tapers slightly towards the nib. Let's keep it nice and still for you. You can see the nib there, and it's got Swan, it's got the number 3, the letter H under the 3, it's got 14C for 14 carat, and then the 585 for the gold content, and then to the bottom it's got England. So let's try and give you another position. I'm hoping that's nice. Yes, I think that's quite clear. So there you can see it's got a lovely nib on it. If we turn it over let's show you the section there. You can see it's got this lovely section to the back, and it's what we term as this comb, a comb section. Again, you can see that hopefully, and let's just give you a sideways view. There you go. So all in all, a lovely nib, and quite a large one as well for this particular, well, quite a late model if you like, but all in all, a very nice nib. Now, one of the things you may notice, you people may have noticed, we've got no lever on this particular pen. The reason being is the filling system on this particular pen is done by this particular knob to the end of the barrel here. Now, again, what do we call this filling system? Now, some people might call it the button filler. It's not actually a button filler as such, because what happens is we unscrew or twist this knob at the end here. Now, some people may say, oh right, what we've got is a twist filler. Now, in all intents and purposes, it's not what I understand to be a twist filler, because the earlier Swan pens that had a little knurled knob to the end, what you'd actually do is actually unscrew the knob to the end, and in effect, inside what would happen, you'd have a bar that would actually twist, and as it twisted, it would actually catch the sack inside. And in theory, what it'd actually do is twist the sack, and then once you screw it back, the bar would move back into place. It would undo the sack there. The sack would open up to its normal position, and at that point it would suck up the ink. So although this one is a twist filler, it's not a twist filler the way I personally understand it. In effect, what happens is inside what we've got in this particular pen, not this particular one, this is a slightly bigger one that I've just found so I can show it to you. In effect, what happens is this particular bar, the end here, sits in a little recess inside the knob there. Now, once we turn this particular knob, what it does, the recess extends inside the barrel. So as you turn it, the recess extends slightly, and in effect what it does, it puts pressure on the bar inside, and what it does, it sort of pushes it up, and then you can see the bar then presses against the sack inside the pen. So once you unscrew it, obviously the section inside comes back into place, if you like, and then the bar falls back into its normal position. So by screwing the knob, it extends it inside, and by extending it, it pushes on the bar inside, and as we said earlier, this sort of effect happens inside the pen, and it squeezes against the sack inside the pen. Okay, so there we go. So as I say, it's not a button filler, and it's not a twist filler that I personally understand it from the earlier models, but as always, we've actually restored it. So what we need to do is we put the ink or the nib inside the ink, and then again what we're going to do is just by turning this knob here, and then we turn it back into place like so. We just leave it for a few seconds, just give it a little shake, and we'll pop that to one side. So let's get some tissue, just give that a little bit of a wipe, and what we'll do, let's bring on our writing pad. So as we said, what we have here is a Swan pen. As I said, I believe this one to be circa, well, I don't know, maybe let's say the mid 1950s, okay, maybe 55, maybe 56. All in all, a very nice writer, as you can see. And what we'll do now, let's see if the nib has some flexibility, which I believe it may have. So there we go. So on the downward stroke, we're actually getting a nice thick line, and on the cross stroke, as you can see there, we're getting a fine line. There we go. So it's actually a nice writer. There we go. So you can see downward stroke being quite a broad stroke. We can see it's got variation in the line there. And as we said, we're dating the pen, I don't know, mid 1950s. So there's the writing sample. So what we'll do now is pop the cap back on like so. And what we'll do, we'll leave it at that. So there we have it, a lovely Swan fountain pen from what I believe to be sort of mid 1950s. Again, it may be one of the last pens that Swan ever made as a you know, fountain pen company. But saying that, personally, I'm not sure what this model is actually called. So that's the reason I'm asking you people out there to leave a comment down there, and let's find out what this particular pen or what the model is for this particular pen. And then hopefully anybody else that gets the same pen, we've got a reference there so people can look at the video and say, oh yes, that particular pen is the Swan whatever. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen, as always, as much as I enjoy showing them to you. Don't forget, leave a comment down below. We need to find out what this little beauty is, so don't be shy, leave a comment. But for now, I'll just say bye bye now.